and I started getting my master's degree while I was working there. And my degree is in organizational communication. And so I just, on a quest to find the answer to that question, ended up doing all of my graduate research on the topic of workplace bullying. So I joke that I essentially have a master's degree in workplace bullying, wrote my thesis on it, all of that. And then pretty quickly after grad school, I wrote a book and started Civility Partners. And I just, having read all of that academic research, knew it was a problem. And maybe it wasn't a popular problem to talk about, but I knew it was a problem. And talk about courage. Literally every single person I knew told me, you can't have a consulting business around workplace bullying. And I'm like, yeah, I can. Just watch
me. No, because I know I've heard stories where individual women, let's say, will come in and say, hey, this person is inappropriate, bullying, degrading, whatever it happens to be. It will take a mass action where a group of women have to come in and say, we're walking out if this isn't changed. Mm-hmm. And then the story I'm thinking about, the company actually had the gall to give this guy a huge severance package.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
To let him walk away so they wouldn't have to deal with stuff. How do businesses get away with stuff like that?
I think it relates to this paradigm we were just talking about for HR, where the shift's gone from employer focus for HR to employee focus. And so employers are slowly but surely shifting from performance focused to people focused. So if the organization's really focused on performance, and generally people who engage in toxic behavior are high performers, that's why it's allowed, because you don't let poor performers engage in toxic behavior. It's generally a high performer. So as long as the organization thinks that performance is more important than people, then it's going to be allowed. And when I go in and coach toxic leaders, that's always the narrative. They've been doing that for a long time, and HR, just like me, has been when I was going through it, trying to talk the leadership into letting them resolve it. And the answer is no, until something happens. Somebody finally files a hostile work environment complaint, or, another valuable person quits and says it's because of that toxic leader. So something often is the catalyst for HR to finally get that permission. But yeah, it's if you're too focused on performance and results, then you're going to let bullying happen.
Wow. And at some point, that bully, even though they're the top performer, that's going to impact everything else in the organization. The organization is going to start falling apart.